Yeah. Um, this week was an up and down week for me, so I didn't get a chance to get on here and do all the stuff I love to do. But I have a power pack live for you right now. And I'm so glad that you decided to pop in and watch with me, keep my company, join the journey. And that being said, I'm going to get right into it. What am I doing today? I'm trying to do three main things with you guys while I'm live, and I'm hoping I'll be able to accomplish them all. So the first one I want to do is to make my sourdough uh, bread right now. I have a very active starter, and I am praying that as I go through this, I will see all the fruits I'm hoping to see of my labor. Alrighty, so it's zeroed out, as you can see. Not to worry, that's just my mixer rocking there in my bowl. And right now, there's nothing in there. I know my starter is active because I can see it very active. I fed it literally 4 hours ago. So I'm supposed to get 100 grams, but I'm aiming for 150 this time around because I believe that's around the sweet spot with this starter. So, hey, how was your week? What have you been up to? Did you try something new? Are you playing around, taking adventures with your food, or are you stuck with the same old, same old? Regardless, I am going to take you on this journey with me. So I'm going to zero this out now. I'm going back to that same recipe that I used the other day. That served me so well, guys. And I'm so happy about it. So here I go. I've zeroed that out. Now I'm adding some warm water. It says 3.5 cups, which is 475 grams. Am I going so far? I might need to get some more water. I can't remember if this served me well the last time. There we go. Let's see. It looks like we're gonna, oops, I just went right over. But that's okay. That's okay. We're not gonna worry. I'm stirring that in. And I already measured out what I needed just to make sure that I could go smoothly. I already have, as you can see here, pre-measured. I've got my salt, everything added in here. On everything, I'm not really doing much. So you can see some bubbles forming on there, and that's excellent because it means my starter is very active. So I've been playing around with this because I've never done sourdough before. Hey, Kayden, the King 981. I'm making sourdough right now, darling. Right now, I'm making sourdough bread. And I found the sweet spot. My first time really working with sourdough. But I found the sweet spot while experimenting. I was super nervous because it's so technical. But guess what, guys? You know what I just realized? That measurement that I was looking for was for my flour and not my water. See that? And these things happen. So now I'm going to have to compensate for that. I have exactly 150 gram more water than I need in this dough, but I'm still going to make it work. You just watch and see how I do that. The very first dough I did, I had too much starter in it. So it turned out to be really sour. And then I should have given that extra time in the fridge, which I did not do. So I learned to learn from that because while it was still warm, my daughter and I, we both snuck a piece, and the crust, the outer part, was awesome. We're all excited. And by the time it cooled down, we tasted that sourdough. Oh, way too sour. So I went back and I watched some more videos on YouTube about making sourdough. And then I said, you know what? I'm not going to worry about this. I've been making bread since I was a teen. So that was many moons ago. I know how to make bread. And then there were so many videos saying you don't have to do this, or you got to do this. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to be confident in what I do and keep on doing it. And that's what I did. I went back 2 days ago, or is it 3 days ago now? And I decided, hey, let's do this. I think I streamed that. I think I did. I want a little bit of butter and oil in my dough as well, because I typically put that in my bread. But because it was new for me, and I really honestly had no experience doing sourdough, I was trying to do everything the scientific way. Just going to move my scale out of the way real quick. I'm going to get the extra flour that I need. And I'm going to continue to mix my dough. So as you can see, it's starting to look like a typical sticky dough when you're doing flour and yeast and water, or milk and water. This is what your dough normally would come around looking like. So I just went all in the way I usually do bread the last time around, guys, and it came on fantastic. I should show you guys my bread. We still have some. Okay, we cut into it last night, and I did it in my old duchy that I have. Look at that. See, look at that. My daughter and I, we've been having fun. And hubby, who was not sure how this would come out, hey, look at that. That's perfect the way we want sourdough bread to be looking. So we're super happy with the journey so far. And I'm just going to get a bit more flour because I need it. Excited that I want to share with others. So I'm just going to sift the flour directly in. And I'm not going to stress if I go over the amount. Reason being, I'm going to put some butter to make sure I get what I want with my dough. So that was what I learned the second time around doing this. And the reason why I am not stressing my brain or stressing myself about how to go about making sourdough anymore, because I think I've got it. I'm just adding a glove to my hand so I can start working with this. I'm stirring in the extra flour I added. And that was because I was so excited to show you guys my progress on my sourdough journey that I completely focused on the wrong thing. I gave water measurement for flour. You know what's funny? While I was pouring that water, I'm like, hey, did you really use this much water the last time? I don't think so. But there I was, all preoccupied with getting the measurement right. But I didn't double check my ingredients, but I'm letting it come together now like I normally do with bread. So what I've learned with sourdough, your starter, whether it's acidic or regular, it will make bread. You just need to give it sufficient time to bulk proof and to rest in the fridge. So I followed a very simple recipe that I found online, And it allowed me, I'm just getting a bit of unsalted butter that I'm going to work into this dough. And I found out that just working the dough like I normally would any other bread gave me a fantastic yield. Perfectly. So I was watching someone else, even I think it was last night or this morning, because now that I've been watching so much YouTube videos on making sourdough, the videos are just popping up like crazy in my feed. And as a result, I'm learning new things. And one thing someone was saying was that the butter is perfect if you want to have a sandwich loaf, sourdough sandwich loaf. And that's primarily what I want to make today. But I'll make two. My goal is to make two doughs. Two loaves, I should say. Same dough, but I'm going to do one as a regular round sourdough bread and one as a sandwich loaf. So this butter, I'll do some more with the butter later. Hey, do I have another question here? Oh, just a hi. Doris Wicks 4506. Hey guys, Kayden the King 981 and Doris Wicks 4506. They stepped into the chat. They're in the party room. So give them some hearts, send them some love, let them feel appreciated all. That's what we do. And here when we get on, I call it a party because food is an adventure. It's like one big happy party when the food is good, right? When you get good food, it's like your mouth goes to a party. That's how I think it is with all foods that we enjoy. So now, you can't go wrong with adding butter or oil to your dough when you're baking. It just makes it softer. So because I'm using, I think, what was my measurement? 175 grams of the starter. And my starter, as you could see earlier, is extremely active. This is going pretty good. So I've learned you don't want to make your dough too dry and you don't want to make it too soft. This is a good dough. This is a very good dough. Super sticky. So because I add the oil and the butter extra, I'm going to add just a tad more, maybe about a half cup more flour. Work it in, and then I can feel from the dough that the yeast is active. My wild yeast is very active in it. And that's what I want to get. I want it to be super active. So guys, this is your girl, Chef Twellyah, aka Andrea. And on this channel, I focus primarily on plant-based cooking, comfort foods, bread, stews, soups, desserts. Oh my goodness. Have I got a couple lined up today? So if you're in for a good time, adventure on the comfort side with a bit, not should have said a bit, with a lot of Caribbean influence, and this is the home for you. So subscribe and let's grow and enjoy the platform. So this will be enough. I believe it will be enough. No, I'm not going to sing for you guys. I don't have the best singing voice. Mind you, I can cut a tune sometime. Yeah, this is good. I may drop just a little bit more water. Just a tad because I want it to remain moist. But I'm not in a rush to add it yet, just because I can see that there is good moisture in the dough. So although it may have looked like a lot of flour, when you have a super moist dough, it absorbs everything. Now this is a good dough. I can feel the heat in it. So with this recipe, what I did the last time, I let this sit for half an hour, and then I did the stretch and pull on it. So yeah, this is awesome. Awesome, awesome. I'm gonna tap just a little bit more butter, just because I want to make sure it's super, super moist. And I'm gonna coat the outside of my dough with it. And I'm gonna wrap it and let it sit for half an hour. So the entire surface of my dough, see that? It's all getting covered with the butter. And just like that, this now gets to sit for half an hour. And it's so soft. I was super surprised at how huge that dough got when it sat at room temperature for 4 hours. It came up over my bowl. So yeah, good baby. Let's wrap it up now and set that half an hour timer. So all the desserts that I'm doing this afternoon, including my sourdough, are using my starter. So I'm using my starter for everything. Alexa, set a half an hour proof timer.
20-minute timer started.
Not sure what she said just now, but this one gets set aside, guys. And then I am now going to go right into making another dough with my sourdough starter. So what I did to make my life easier, when you're live streaming, it's usually hard to get everything done, guys. So this is what I did. I just pre-measured. I marked this, I know it's for my cinnamon rolls. I sprinkled some cinnamon on top. And here I just got the flour and the salt and baking powder because that's for my crumble. And I'm using the sourdough starter for everything. So this was what I learned last week, which was really fun, is that for everything you bake, you literally can use your sourdough starter or the discard. The discard, for you who don't know, which is something I learned. Oh, I need my scale for this again. Let's get the scale out. Get it back down. Put on my bowl. I zero it out. Just give it a moment to come on up. So yeah, so what I learned about working with sourdough starters is that, and I need 50, they say, but I'm kind of doubling the recipe. So I'm going to try to go with 75 because I think that will be a good sweet spot. This is going to be my, third, fourth time making this. And the result has been excellent. So it's a muffin recipe that I've adapted into a crumble cake. Maybe I'll go 90. I'll go 90. I'm feeling brave today. Whoops, I just went a bit over, but it's all right. It's not gonna be something tragic. I'm doing this. So because I'm doing a cake, I can go with some milk. It's at 95. Let's zero it out. My water, and should be, if my memory serves me right, guys. You hear that? Because Chef Twellyah just done go and lost the people them recipe. In other words, that's Jamaican dialect for I had the recipe written down and I went and lost it. So I'm to put roughly, I believe it is like 125 grams of liquid. So that's all coconut milk. So remember, I am a vegan channel, so I focus on doing the stuff that are vegan and vegetarian. But because I'm from a community that are not like me, in that I am vegan, I am at times, but I'm primarily a vegetarian. They do stuff a bit differently. They use eggs and such. I never use eggs. I'll always adapt. So for this, I've mixed that in. Now, because it is a crumble, I need to make a crumble. And I need sugar, flour, and butter. Right now, I've got just my sugar here, and I don't have enough. I'm doing a 1-to-1. So it should be 1 cup of sugar, 1 cup of butter, 1 cup of flour. But the butter should be cold because my butter is not fully melted. I am not going to go to a triple one. Ooh, that's the cover for my coconut. This just keeps sliding. Remember, I told you I'm doing 3 things today. I'm going old school. My favorite thing to make is cocoa cinnamon rolls. I'm trying to get into my sugar bucket, guys. And let's see. Because I've been having a problem with my right for the past couple weeks. And for those of you who have been here with me before, yes, I went and got the x-ray done. Finally, I did get the x-ray. So the doctor will be able to tell me if it really is a trigger finger or what's going on with it. I'm not sure. I just woke up with it bent. Yeah, so that's 1 cup. I'm going to put a little bit more. The only reason why I'm adding a little bit more is because, ow, I just hurt the finger. The blueberry is not very sweet. It's very tart. So I can put my flour directly on here. And actually, I'm just going to use this bowl. Just so you guys can see. I'll use this bowl. I'll flip this one over my coconut because my cover keeps falling. And here we go. 1 1/4 cup of sugar. Now I need to get 1 1/4 cups of flour. I'm going to use my sieve. And I'm just going to go ahead. That measuring cup is 1 cup. And I just had a tad bit over. So I know it's 1 1/4. Sift that in. And the reason why I'm doing the crumble now, guys, is because the mixture, once I get done with it, I'm going to need the crumble. So it makes sense to make my crumble ahead of time and then come back to the rest of it. So I'm just getting the butter in. And this is going to be the topping. Now, another reason why that's about a half, I'll make that 3/4. The reason why I am making this much crumble is because I'm still going to do some blueberry cinnamon rolls. And the crumble is used on that topping to prevent it from leaking or running all over. It keeps my berries stationary, but it also helps to add a little bit of sweetness to the roll, because you know blueberries are very tart. So it's double purpose. It gives me sweetness and it gives me stability when I'm assembling my blueberry or berry rolls. So you can use any berry, blueberry, raspberry, strawberries, you name it, blackberry, any kind of berry can be used. It's just prepping and putting it all together. So right now it's too wet. Okay, guys, this is way too wet. So I need a little bit more flour in this so that I get a proper crumble. So a crumble is pretty much the best way to describe it. It's like taking that, what should I call it now? The topping that you would use on a pie. This is like 3/4. Okay, I want to make it really fine. So the more flour, the finer my crumble will be. So I'm going to show you guys in real time how that comes together and how awesome it is to do these stuff at home. So here I go. It's already assembled. I'm adding the extra flour. And as I add the extra flour, what happens is that the moisture gets distributed. And you see a much finer crumb appearing. So the ratio I gave you is standard, but that's with the cold butter. I did not realize how soft the butter is. So the colder the butter it is, the more refined your crumble is. But if the butter is at room temperature, then you gotta double or maybe sometimes even triple your flour, or you cut back your butter. Because I didn't cut back the butter, I only went to a 3/4. I should have been like a half. That's what I should have done. So you see how that's changed now? Instead of it looking lumpy, it's like a thick mix. So if you ever did shake and bake, it's a similar thing like that. That's how your crumble is going to come out looking. So I can still add a bit more flour to it, or I can keep it at this level. So it's mostly where I want it to be. So I'll work at it. Mainly being because if I had more flour, I'm going to have to add more sugar. And I don't want it to be super sweet. So this is good. I won't be using all of this for the cake. Yeah, this is good. I can work with that. Because those that look a bit lumpy, I can get that out. If I'm just patient enough with it. Yeah, and see it's all coming out almost the same texture now, which is perfect. The reason why I keep going down to the bottom, sometimes the flour settles at the bottom. So this ensure that everything is well incorporated. Yeah, we can deal with that now. And I only use one hand with the glove, mainly because I want to be able to freely hold other stuff. And this is something I've done many times over the years. I've been making crumbles since I was, 14 or 15. My neighbor, Joan, she's gone on before us. She was a beautiful soul. She taught me a lot of stuff that I learned to bake and to cook. Hi, did someone else join a party? Yes, Elena, Cosdron 6005 on Oneida, Boston. Hi, guys. Welcome to the party. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you being here with me today. So with this recipe now for the cinema, not the cinema, guys. That's me, my brain trying to do too many things at once. Okay, so I'm going to put some butter, because this is melted butter. It's about 1/4 cup. And that's good. I'm going to put a tad bit more in there. But I shared this recipe in a previous stream. If you guys are curious and want to try it, you can check it out. What I'm going to show you guys to do, something that I learned from my neighbor and friend, dear friend Joan, that when you're making a crumble, you should use yogurt. I'm using the silk cocoa, not plain yogurt. So there's no fruits in this one, and this is 100% vegan. So I'm just going to get some of that into the measuring cup right now. And then I'm going to activate this by adding some baking powder. That's all I'm going to put in there. Okay. So I should measure this, and technically I do. And the reason I'm laughing, guys, if you're watching me before it all, you know I eyeball a lot of stuff. So the baking powder is in. And when I say activate, I say activate for a reason, because when you stir the baking powder in, you'll see the yogurt literally just getting greater in volume. So I'll leave that for a moment. I'm going to take off this gloves because I need to do something real quick with my grinder. So if you guys are not aware, when you're baking vegan, you can use 2 different types. Standard, well, there are 3 technically, but I prefer this method, which is the flaxseed as an egg replacer. I'm just plugging in my trusty grinder to the side, and I'm gonna get a little bit of water in here. Because it's a cake, I want to simulate the egg effect. So I just rinse that out because I saw where some of my dough from my earlier recipe fell in. And I'm putting a bit of warm water from my kettle. And now what I'm going to do is grind some flaxseed fresh and add it to this. And then this will take the form of my eggs. So this is a flaxseed I'm using. This is a red one. It's not, let's say this, not all flaxseed are made equal. I've used it because hubby bought it for me. But I find that this one is not as great as the others I'm accustomed to. But this is a new variety. I'm giving it a try. Not going to fuss. It works. So it doesn't take long. 10 seconds. Let me just unplug it. So in case you guys are wondering, yes, I'm a real person. I'm in Toronto, Canada. I'm not an avatar. Everything you see is live. But I live in a really tiny apartment. So my space for everything I do is small. But I let it work for me. Now, a lot of times folks try things and they don't come out the way they expected it. And they say, oh, it's not a good recipe. It's not that it's a bad recipe. It's just your methodology is wrong. So for most things, it's just having all your right ingredients and combining them the right way for you to get what you want. Thank you for the hearts, guys. I love it. You guys are making me feel appreciated on this Friday afternoon. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So this was my milk mixture I made before with my starter. Now this, as you just saw me adding in just now, was the flaxseed that I grind. The reason why I do it fresh, and just look at that, guys. See how I just realized it took that out of your focus. There we go. See, it's gotten real thick already because I use warm water. So when you use warm water, you get a faster effect. Thank you, thank you. Kirby Davis 792. Oh, you're on here, I think, last week with me, one of the streams. Welcome back. Thank you for coming on board. Hey, guys, give her some heart. Give her some love. She's in the party room. Yeah. So for this, I'm going to get my sugar. And I love spice. I absolutely love spices. So I'm going to spice this up. And I think it's the Caribbean, the Jamaican influence why I do. So this is really... Hi, Linda M7. M7K. Hi, everybody. Give her some hearts. She's in the party. You're welcome, Kirby. I'm so happy you're with me today. Girl, I am making up some beautiful treats, 100% vegan, and I'm using my starter for everything. Everything I'm using my starter for. So I've added my sugar to my mixture. Yeah, I see those hearts going up for you guys. Kirby and Melinda, they're sending up hearts for you guys. So this is one way you can ensure that everything gets incorporated. Just mixing it all, putting all your liquids together. I already have my salt in my flour mixture. So I'm just going to add some spice now. Cinnamon. I love me some cinnamon. And if you were on the other day, I finally found it. It was in the cupboard, the same place I was looking. The Ceylon cinnamon. And I just cannot find it. I'm adding a tad bit of vanilla bean paste. And guys, I'm making my very own vanilla extract at home. I believe it's either next month, mid next month, or the start of July. It should be ready. But I checked on it 2 weeks ago, and it has beautiful color. So I'm really excited. All right. So although it is a crumble, I like to add a little bit of the Caribbean to it. It's definitely a Canadian dish. So that was star anise. Smells so good. This is ground cloves. I noticed my nutmeg bottle. I'm not sure what hubby did with it. So I have a little. So when I grate the nutmeg, I usually grate them fresh, and then I bottle it, and I come back to having it. So I have a little nubs left back. So I want to make sure I get a good flavoring in my cake. So I'm just using my zester to grate some nutmeg fresh into it. Thank you guys. I'm loving the hearts. Yes, thank you. You guys don't know how much this encourages me, because this week was really rough for me. It was super rough. I wanted to stream, and I just didn't end up doing it. The stream I did this week were all very quick ones. And I like to really share, because I find a lot of people want to do stuff, experiment with their food, but they're just afraid to doing it because they don't have the guide. So that's where I step in. I share with you guys some fun, easy things you can do at home using the ingredients that you have in your cabinet. You don't have to go out and get new stuff. All right. So butter is in here, milk is here, my starter is in there. And now I'm going to go ahead and add just a little bit of flour. The flour mixture I had prepped in advance. Alrighty, mixing some in now. And gradually you'll see this start to look like a cake. So remember, it's a blueberry muffin that I've adapted to a cake. And that's all there is. You're just going to go ahead and alternate between your wet and your dry now. So I'm going to keep that back because I want to have you guys see as we gradually add how it transforms. So now my egg replacer, I'm going in with that. There we go. Just gonna take the spatula and scrape it all out. So for something like this, you'd use 2 to 3 large eggs. So if you're watching my channel and you see me doing something, you can duplicate it. If you're not a vegan, if you're not a vegetarian, and you do this, the only thing I'd recommend to you, if you're doing the regular version and using eggs, use a bit of lemon zest or some lime or lemon juice as you add each egg. Because if you're not aware, there's a raw, very raw scent that comes from eggs. And you can get rid of that with the lemon or lime juice or the zest. That will cut it down. That as well as taking out those mucus, thick mucus that you see in the white of the egg. We call it the eye of the egg in the Caribbean. So I'm just letting you know, because I know a lot of people watch are not vegetarian, are not vegan, but you like to see the creation process. So you're here with me, and I appreciate that. If this is something that you love, then subscribe. You are welcome here. Keep on sending those hearts, guys. I appreciate it. So I had something wet just now, so I'm going to put a little bit of the flour, and I still save back some. It's something I learned when I was younger, and that is you should always put your dry ingredient last. I don't know if people are being taught these things nowadays, but I first learned to bake and cook with my grandma, and then after that with Auntie Joan. And so then I guess the next big influence was my teacher in high school. And then finally my brother. He can whip up some stuff. He doesn't do much these days, but he's so good. So see how fluffy this is now? I'm just going to spoon this into the batter. And see, I kept it consistent. I had the dry, the wet, the dry, the wet. And I have one last little bit of dry to come after. So you don't have to do much. You just have to follow the process. And if you're doing it the way I tell you, you can make an awesome crumble. Even if you're just using yeast or baking powder, you're not using any of the discard like I just did, you can still come up with an awesome end result. What I love to bake on Fridays are cornmeal pudding. And that's just because my community loves it. But they also love coconut cinnamon rolls. And my baby girl loves it too. So as I'm mixing this in, it's feeling a little tight to me. So now is the time I'm going to add just a tad bit more coconut milk. Just like that. That was like a quarter cup. And I'm just going to stir it in now. Yes, it's loosening up. You don't want your batter to be too thick because then when it bakes, it dries out really fast. You want to lock in that moisture. Thank you guys. I appreciate the hearts. You know, I was checking my analysis on YouTube this week, and it was telling me earlier this week when I looked that the majority of my audience is women. And I say, who run the world? Girls. Girl power all the way. Thank you, ladies. Now, I know we do get a few men coming in now and then. Thank you, men. We appreciate your support as well. I'm going to add still just a tad. Yep. That should be good. Because I'm going to add that last bit of flour. Yeah. See how it's gotten so much smoother now? Now I can do this, and I know this because I've been baking for so long. So I could tell right away. So it's just like 3 tablespoons of flour. But it's enough to bring it all back to where I need it to be. The blueberry is going to add some moisture. So I'm not worried too much. But I gotta fold the flour in so it gets absorbed. And it's almost time to check on my sourdough to give it that first pull and stretch. Or stretch and pull, whichever way they want to call it. Or you know it as. Same difference. But I made this last week for the community and everybody was so happy. They're like, make it again. So I'm making it for them. And they asked for the rolls. So I'm going to make it for them as well. So yeah, guys. Thank you. Alexa, cancel. That was a reminder for my daughter. She's already done it. So I'm just canceling before it start coming in. So all of you guys who have Alexa and just responded to my chat, I'm sorry. Alexa's very inquisitive, right? I think that's a good blend now. I got a pan somewhere around already. So I'm just moving that a bit out of the way. And now I am going to get my pan all greased up. Yes, curvy girl. So Alexa hopefully didn't respond to me in your house just now. All right, so I'm just gonna put some parchment paper. Alexa, cancel. That's my timer for the pull and stretch. I just realized I didn't put on my oven. Hey baby girl, can you do mommy a favor? Probably have her headphones on and not hearing a word I'm saying to her. So yeah, this is going in, guys. Can you see it? I think I shifted the camera too much. Let's see if I can get it so you guys can see this going into the pan. And I'm not going to try to be cute about this, guys. Just want to get it all in. I'm going to add the blueberry to this last little bit and put it over the top. I think that's what I will do. The blueberries are still in the freezer. I'm just going to plop it out and rinse my hand real quick. Can't touch the camera stand because I'm going to make it all sticky, guys. So sorry, the camera is not walking with me right this moment. Grab the blueberries. Yep, I've got it. So now the recipe says, ooh, Anne Finley Dash Caldwell, welcome to the party. Hi. Yes, I missed that earlier, darling. So sorry. So I'm not going to stress to try to pull that because my hand is still sick. Now I'm supposed to put a cup. These blueberries are way tinier than the last one. This is like a cup and a half. I'll work with that. You know what I love about blueberry? When blueberries bake, they expand and they get so super big. And I'm like, wait a minute. They were like that when I mixed it in. So just like that, I'm stirring it in. See that purple swirl starting? Now they're stuck. Because they're so tiny. Which one is it? It says Canadian wildberry, but last week were Canadian wildberry and they weren't this tiny. So I'm not sure what's the difference. Those were huge. They were like jumbo. These ones this week, they went right through my whisk and got stuck. So I'm just trying to work them out here, guys. Give me a second. Let me try to get them out. See that? They're all stuck. Yeah, they're coming out. Good. Smart berries. They know I don't want them in there. So where are you guys watching me from today? What was your week like? I know I shared about mine being a hectic week. It was a full week. Let's put it that way. So it was a very full week for me. What was your week like? What did you get up to? Anything new? Let me know in the comments. While I'm working, I'm trying to check. So there's a little bit of delay, guys, because I don't have my secondary device up. So I can track before me. So I have to check back on the device I'm streaming from. So there's a slight delay. I apologize for that. But I love each and every one of you who have popped in here with me today. You don't understand how much your support means to small channels such as mine. I've been around for a while, but I wasn't streaming. I wasn't really posting anything to YouTube. But with the encouragement of my baby girl, I am back at it now after my initial start and stop. So yeah, that's it. And next, I'm going to add the crumble. So if you've never seen crumble being added, give me a moment and I'll show you how I add that crumble to this. Then when it bakes, it poofs out so nicely. So the sourdough starter can be used in things like these. I did not know. It was one of those YouTube videos I was watching. When I say I watched, I think honestly, I know I've watched at least 200 sourdough videos because I've been like deep diving into it to see, because I was so worried about it because it was something new, something different. And I discovered that you can use your starter not just to make bread, but to make tasty desserts. And so I started it 2 weeks now, and I'm still at it because the results have been fantastic. So I've gotten every little morsel I could out of that. Pushing it to the edges. The advantage to baking at home is that everything you bake, you know what's going in. So whether it's vegan, vegetarian, or regular, you have control. And that, darlings, makes a world of difference. I'm just mixing it in a little bit so that when we cut into it, every section will have some blueberries. That's all this push and pull is about for me here right now. Alrighty, I think I'm satisfied with that. This side looks a little shallow. Okay. Now, what I'd like to do when I'm baking, just do that. What it does, I learned this from a chef. His name is Dwight. Found him on YouTube back in like 2013. And he was teaching us that when you do that, it allows for air pockets to disappear. Just making a little bit of room so I can pull my crumble closer. So now I'm going to add my crumble to this. And I'm going to move. Ooh. Okay, I thought I missed someone. I'm seeing you again, Kirby Davis. So yeah. Now the crumble. The crumble. That beautiful crumble. We get to spread it over the top into the crevices and the corners. Just putting it in. And I'm being liberal with it. Because believe it or not, as this bake, some of the crumble is going to like warp into the cake itself. so the top won't be as full as it is now. Yep, and that's it. That's all there is to do in a crumble. But my oven is not on, so I've got to turn that on. And of course, I got my fingers all messy again, so I need to do a rinse. And then I'm going to do that pull and stretch on the sourdough now. And you guys can see that. So I find that with what I've discovered with my sourdough bread is that once it is, okay, I'm just resting this to the side and rinsing my hands real quick, guys. Turn on the oven at the same time. Putting that at 425. And I've set it so it will preheat for me. Ooh, a little bit of that dough got on my finger and I tasted it, guys. Ooh, this blueberry crumble is going to be so scrumptious. Just the right amount of sugar and the spices are perfect. So here we go for the first stretch and pull. Thanks for the hearts, guys. You see how sticky that is? I'm supposed to use water so that it doesn't stick to my hand. And I didn't walk with the water, so I'm going to fetch me some water. Got a big bowl here. Just going to get a little bit of water in it. So I'm learning that it's easy and fun to bake with sourdough. Who knew? With all the hoopla that's been going on with it, it's so easy. So with my hand, okay, so you guys want to see everything. I've gotten water on my hand, and now I'm back to the dough. Thank you, Kirby. I'm excited. Look at that. Look at that, Kirby. Just look at that. That first pull, you just turn your bowl. And look at that. Oh, this is beautiful. So you see the difference? That butter and that oil that I added. See, look at that stretch. Oh my goodness. This is a fort. If I'm not, I actually went around a little extra. See the oil? You see that moisture? I want to make sure that it's fully. So I do more than the 4 because I want to make sure that it is all. And then I flip. That was what I did last time. So I'm repeating it because it worked perfect. So now this sits for another half an hour. And this is starting to, that's an active starter, guys. That's the beauty of using an active starter. And just like that, they make it seem so complicated when you watch these videos, but it's super easy. Alexa, set a half an hour proof timer. So that's going to be my second one when that time goes off. So I'm just covering it back. I'm setting it to the side again. And now I'm going to work on the dough for my cinnamon rolls. I had so much fun doing this last time. And I'm going to get started on it again. So I need to make sure that I measure my water and my starter proportions. So I'm just going to get some fresh water. As soon as I had my fingers in this, although it's not dirty technically, because it's just clean water, and I just put my finger to pull my dough. But I want to make sure the water is warm because I've discovered, okay, so this is what I've discovered, guys. Everybody was saying use room temperature water. Almost 100 videos I watched, they all said room temperature water. I'm like, if I use warm water for regular bread, why would I, now that I'm doing sourdough, go ahead and use room temperature water? Isn't that slowing down the process of my wild yeast? And sure enough, it did that first batch. So I said, second time around, no way. So now that I'm doing this, I'm doing it Chef Twellyah's way, which is old school, warm water, makes a world of difference. So you saw Kirby, the stretch and pull was fairly easy, not complicated at all. I know I have way excess water. I'm getting my scale back. I need to zero it out. Alrighty. It's zeroed. I'm going to move this down just a bit and try to move the bowl. I like to use the glass zero it. Let's see. Zero. Here we go. The reason why I like to use the glass bowls is because you guys can see so much better when I use it than when I'm using the stainless steel like I'm doing right now. So for this dough, I am going to be using some flaxseed again, which means I'm going to have to grind the flaxseed. I'm going to get my starter in first. Let's see how it's looking. It's not looking as active as it was earlier, but I'm still hoping that will give me a similar result. I want to get around 100, and of course I had to go over, so let's just make it even 125. Why not? I've gone over with everything else, but I went over the last time, and then I did something weird. I say it's weird because it's different. With my last sourdough bread, when it was done the initial period of pull and tuck and rest, I was like, wait a minute. I'm not smelling as much tang, although it's active and it's going awesome. I wasn't smelling that big tang that I did first time around. So I added about 50 grams more of my starter to it at that point, when a lot of people would say don't. So I went with my experience as a bread maker versus going with my experience with sourdough, guys. And it turned out to be to my advantage. Hey, babes. Hubby's home, guys. So now, this is the third thing I'm going to make today and last thing I'm going to make. And so I'm going to show you guys how I do everything from scratch. I'm not skipping any of the processes. So here I'm going to do my flaxseed. And a lot of people say, why don't you measure your flaxseed? Because I'm always pretty much right on the mark. I've never had too much flaxseed that I can recall. And the reason why I said all flaxseed were not made equal earlier, Kirby, was because this flaxseed is of much softer nature. The last couple flaxseed I have bought, they were, I'm not needing the scale anymore. And the reason why I'm not needing the scale anymore is because I can make this in my sleep. I've been making cinnamon rolls from I was a wee little girl. So the yield with this flaxseed, it's like not a full cavity. Whereas if I'd used the previous flaxseed I was using, this would be almost overflowing. So just like with cornmeal, I've discovered not all cornmeal are made equal. The same thing with flaxseed. So now, the difference between, say, the bread and the cinnamon rolls and I'm going to use my dough mixer for this one, and all the other doughs is that with the cinnamon, you're adding everything in at this point. I'm going to put some water, not too much, because I'm going to use my coconut milk. And I'm seeing the wild yeast, seeing the activity from it already. So no, I'm not measuring my liquids, because for this, I'm just doing enough to give myself a very sticky dough. I'm going to use, I fetched this earlier at Winners. I don't know if you guys know about it, but it's similar to maple syrup, but it's agave. It's wild. I said this is wild, raw, organic agave. I don't know how true that is. Da-da-da. I need to break this seal. But I am trying this one. I used to get my agave syrup at David's Tea, but they closed out the bulk of them. And last I was on their website, I didn't see them having it anymore, which is a pity, because I don't do honey and maple syrup is too sweet. I find that this is just the right amount of sweetness that I need if I'm wanting to add some sweetness to my tea. So I'm going to go ahead and add in my flaxseed. I do a dry. Mix on this. Now, a lot of people don't know that flaxseed, you should always grind it within half an hour if you need in it. Beyond that, and it's lose all the nutritional value. So because I'm doing primarily coconut cinnamon rolls today, guys, I'm adding a bit of coconut. Hey, babes. What's wrong with that? You need that for something? What? It's okay. I can get it after. I haven't used it yet, so I'm just letting you know. I'm not using it right now. You can go ahead. I can get it later when you're done. So, no, it's okay. I can use it later. So that's coconut oil. And the coconut oil is congealed because here in Toronto, it's still cold. I wouldn't say overly cold, but cool enough. So I always go ahead and stir in a little bit. I hear you, Kirby. I hear you, girl. Yeah, so yeah, when I learned that, I was shocked. I was shook. That's what the kids say nowadays. I was totally shook. I'm like, what? So you mean I've been using this thing wrong all along? And then I mentioned it to my mom, and she's like, yeah, you didn't know? I'm like, no, you never told me. Because there I was buying everything. I was buying everything ground, thinking I was doing myself. Just like you said, the convenience. And I'm putting some butter, room temperature butter as well. So the flaxseed, the milk, the oil, the butter, that guarantees me extremely soft, pull apart cinnamon rolls. And now I have the flour pre-sifted, and I add some cinnamon. That was how come I marked it, so I knew what was what. So I put a bulk of that in, and I'm just gonna mix it in a bit. And this is using the starter like I do for the sourdough bread. And that's what I'm using in here. So my flaxseed, it's like eggs. So you know how a lot of times they say you add eggs to your pastry for that softness? You get it with a flaxseed. It's not missed because 99% of the time I use flaxseed. I was mentioning earlier that there's 3 options you have to get that egg effect. And the other one that a lot of people like to use is applesauce. So when people are doing things like carrot cake and things like that, they use applesauce. Banana bread, they use applesauce. And then the last one, which is I say the most processed one, which is you combine equal parts of baking powder, baking soda, and cornstarch. So 1 to 1 to 1. That would be what you would use. And my dough, no longer sticky, it's coming together. I'm just gonna grab a glove because I want to start working it with my hand. So yeah, guys, there's a lot of little things we don't know, Kirby, that if we knew, we would change how we do stuff. Because we think we're doing a good thing by getting the flaxseed already grounded, so we don't have to worry about it. But when I learn, and the reason why is that within that half an hour time span, well, that 30 minutes, all your nutriments, that's what they say. I think they say we have 8 amino acids in the flaxseed. I think it's 8. I could be wrong. Maybe I should ask Google. Hey, Google, how many of the amino acids are found in flaxseed? Okay, so today's the day that it decides not to listen to me. Oh, it's talking, but it's low. Okay. So now as I'm working it with my hand, I'm seeing that it's still sticky at the bottom, which is good. I'm going to add in the remainder of my flour, guys. Put it all in there. I want it to absorb the flour. Then I'm going to put, I have still a little bit of coconut milk. So I will add that in. And I'm just going to work it in. Just like that. And it gets incorporated into the dough. But what it does for me is ensure that I have that moisture locked down. I could tip a little bit of water because I'm seeing where the oil had melted in it. Can get just a little bit. See that? You see that, Kirby? The oil is on top. So not too much because I want this dough to remain sticky while I leave it to proof. The stickier your dough, when you put it to do that first proof, the softer it will be. Because the wild yeast is gonna be activated and it's gonna start working for you. I'm gonna put a little bit more butter to this. And I'm going to work it in to absorb the dry flour that I have. So that should be good. Similar to what I did with the sourdough bread dough. Same concept. But this is something I learned from trying to do my dough to get a super soft dough. And I found that this really works. If you need butter or oil into your dough, the dough absorbs it all. No matter how much you think that dough is done and it can't take it, you just take your time and knead it in. And it will absorb it all. And just like that, it's been absorbed. But I want it to be a little bit more sticky. So I'm just going to get some water from my bowl here. I'm just putting my hand in and get a little bit. And I'll sprinkle it right over I'll do it again. A little bit more water. Sprinkle. You might say this is too much, Chef Twellyah. No, because I said I want a sticky dough, right? So this will guarantee me to have a super sticky dough. And just like that, my third batter is ready. Hey babes, did the beep go off? It should have gone off on the oven. I didn't hear when it go. Can you look? Is it at 375? 425 there now? 425? Yeah, that's what should be on it. No, 336. Okay. Let's soon be there then. Thank you. So my oven is still heating up. So I haven't put in that crumble cake into the oven yet. But this is at that stickiness I want it to be. So I discovered last time when I baked with this, guys, that I have to leave it to sit and rest for a longer period. Normally when I use the yeast, the standard yeast, this would get 35, 40 minutes. Now it's 45 minutes to an hour. So the wild yeast take a little bit more time. That's one of the reasons why I usually put the sugar to try to kickstart the activity of the yeast. In this case, it is a case where I know it will poof up, but it will take longer. So using the warm water, I had a little bit of agave to it. That should help it to come up pretty good. So I'm tucking the plastic all around it to keep it snug. And I'm still going to get some paper towel, dampen the paper towel, and put it over, and then put a dish towel. And the reason why I do that, I want to make sure that as this is proofing, it's going to expand, but I don't want it to lose the moisture. So that's the reason why I do that. This is good. And it's a very active yeast, if you guys have seen. I hear you, Kirby. I hear you. So yeah, I'm using the Bounty. So I'm using like three sheets of it. And I'm now just going to tuck it over. I usually do one. So I'm going to do like how I usually do. Usually do one flat and then two together on the opposite sides. That ensure that it's fully covered. And now I just use a dish towel to cover that. And it will keep it moisturized while it rests. Alexa, set a timer for 45 minutes. I'll check it after 45 minutes. So I'll set the timer for 45 minutes.
Timer started.
Hey, Kirby, I don't know if you know this, but for tummy ache, do you throw away these? These are the peels from your oranges. Since you've been keeping my company, I thought I'd share this tip with you. Ooh, these were damp when hubby put them down. So, thank you, hon. So those have to come out. So I've got a jar. So basically, the idea is to keep it until it dries. But I usually spread it out. But hubby started this and I just added some more to it. If you keep this and you make sure that it's fully dry so that when you go like it literally crumbles like it's a piece of twig. That's how dry. You can bake it. That's another option you can do. You can bake it to speed that up. You put that in a jar and you just keep that. And if you have a tummy ache, you use that with some fresh mint and ginger and thyme, and that tummy ache is gone. I don't know if you knew that one, but because you're so fascinated with the stuff I shared, I just had to tell you that. It's called the tummy tea. So anytime my daughter has a tummy ache, she asks me to make the tummy tea for her. So I'm just clearing my station, guys. Just bear with me a quick moment, please. Can move the camera so you guys can see fully what I'm doing. I'm just, because my space is small, I'm trying my best to clear everything to move to prep the fillings for my cinnamon rolls. You are welcome, darling. So basically, you just need a sprig or two of thyme. And then you also need, I use a fresh pimento. So I buy the pimento at the supermarket. Then what I do, I wash it, let it dry, air dry. And then I cut it up in little sprigs and I freeze it. So I get fresh mint every single time I want to make the tea. So even if I don't have the fresh mint, I can always go back to what's in my freezer. Yeah, so just doing that. And if you don't have fresh ginger, you can use ginger powder. It works well with that too. But everyone I've given that mint tea, they're like, wow, I never knew that. That's so, so good. I'm going to use this for my coconut that either which way. Who knows? Maybe I'll use the other bowl. But I think you guys can see in this bowl better. So now I've gone ahead and cleared everything that I was using previously. Now I go to prepping the coconut. So for those of you who know, this is a coconut. It has the skin on it still. When we make things like grater cake, which is a Jamaican dessert, we peel off the skin. But that is coconut. But I love me some coconut. And for this purpose, I am not going to be peeling it, but I'm going to eat that. It's so, so good. Yeah. I think we're good with that. Sorry for tuning your ear. But I love me coconut. The flour was in here, so I'm just taking out the flour dust. For the filling, you can use this. Because as you can see, it will shred. But I prefer this, the finer shred. So I'm doing this in real time. And you see me prep this. You'll know how easy it is to do it, but you don't have to. So Kirby, for folks like you, in the supermarket, they have freshly shredded coconut. So if you want to venture out and try this, you can get the shredded coconut in the freezer section of your supermarket. I know here in Toronto, I can get it in No Frills, Walmart, Metro, Food Basic, Real Canadian Superstore, Loblaws, you name it. They all have it in their frozen food section. A lot of people won't do these things because it takes time. So they would rather do the dried coconut. But I personally don't go with dried coconut because from what I've seen, they dehydrate the coconut and then add sugar to preserve it. And this just takes a few minutes to do. The only reason why I'm not done with it yet is because my hand, I still have an issue with my hand. So I'm not in a rush. Hubby does this way faster than me. But I'm trying to find a way to do this so I don't pressure the hand. Because every time something presses against here, I get pain. So that's why today I'm moving a little slower. So I thank you for your patience. And I really appreciate the company, Kirby. I get thousands of views every month. A lot of folks, they just come on and watch. They say nothing, and that's okay because they're checking it out. Maybe they want to make sure that this is a place they want to come back to, right? And so every view matters for me. I love the fact though that so many of you come in on my live stream. I remember when I first started live streaming, I'd get like a couple hundreds coming on. Now I'm getting thousands, and that's awesome. It means that what I have is resonating with you all, and that's super good feedback you're giving me. Yeah, so that's just one piece of coconut. This coconut was huge. I can tell because of the pieces, and it's just one. This is just one coconut, right, babes? Yeah. Did you get it at Jihan? Yep, and you picked it up at Jihan. They have really good coconut up there. I might decide to use some of this to make coconut milk to put in one of my dishes. So when I have them like this, I don't toss them, I'll just drop them back. And then I might go back and just shred it so I can blend it out later. My goal is to get about 2 cups of grated coconut. I'm almost there. Hey, babes, you want to give me your strength for a minute? Let's see if I can sweeten him up, Kirby. I don't know. Is he willing to come and help wifey here? Mackie Boo, can you lend me your strength for a couple minutes? He's occupied, Kirby. He didn't take the bait. Yes. A friend of mine, you're so right, Kirby. A friend of mine, she gave me a pot of thyme the other day, and I'm just loving it. Because every time I clip a piece off and I look and I see the new growth, I have to eat this, guys. It's so sweet. Some people just don't like coconut. But it's so satisfying to know that when I'm cooking, if I don't have thyme in my fridge, I have the fresh thyme. I used to grow sweet peppers, but they wouldn't grow in the apartment. And every time I put it on the balcony, then the raccoons and the squirrels would come and eat them down. So tomatoes, sweet peppers, hot peppers. I used to grow them in the pot and put it at the window. But hubby says that because the sun is not direct for long, it's like a very brief window. It's not sufficient to give them the enough sunlight. I tried getting the lights to grow inside. It didn't work out for me. Alexa, thank you, stop. So now, I completely forgot, Kirby, that the oven went off. It's ready. I'm going to go ahead and drop the crumble cake. And of course, there's another little piece here for me. Not so good. Thanks, hon. So now I'll set a timer for that. For you're making stew or soup? Hubby's prepping up some stuff in that kitchen, and it looks good. Alexa, set a 35-minute cake timer. So that's for the crumble. And I'm going to do that second pull and stretch now. Yeah, this should be enough. That should be enough. I have enough to make more later if I decide I want to do that. I get rid of my debris around my coconut or from my coconut. All right. So cinnamon. You can put anywhere from half to 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. Vanilla. Do I have any vanilla in this? No. I'll put a tad bit of the vanilla bean extract. That's literally all done now. Or paste, rather. It's not extract. Vanilla bean paste. So just a dab. Hey, babes, can you bring me the vanilla, please? Do I have any more? Thank you. I'll just put a little bit, not much. This is the regular essence, not the extract. I don't really want a lot of that. Yeah, find some nutmeg. I don't like how that one is crumbling. I got a whole nutmeg here. And start a new one if need be. And yeah, that's enough, I think, for this. Now the only thing needs to go in here now is the sugar. So I'm going to keep that nutmeg. Am I needing it for anything else? I don't think I will. No, I don't think I'll need it for anything. Each nutmeg, Kirby, I'm not sure if you know this, but this is on the shell of the nutmeg. And it looks like just a little scab over it, but it's actually what they call mace. It's super expensive to buy, and we get the nutmeg all the time. But a lot of us don't know what it is. So I'll get my sugar jar. Or should I say my sugar tub? And I'm going to get just a little bit of sugar, not too much. It's about 1/4 cup. Maybe a little bit more. I'll be liberal. And I'm just going to need to mix this all together now. I had an extra spatula, I think. I guess maybe not. All right, guys, I'm just going to grab a fork real quick. Are you making stuff for a stew, babes?
Yeah.
I'm asking you what you're making. Oh, you're making soup. Oh, okay. I thought you were doing stew. I wanted to make a Lenten stew today. You're welcome, Kirby. My pleasure. Okay, so that's it. And you just mix this all together. And just like that, you have the fill-in for your cocoa cinnamon rolls. I can see where the paste settled, so I just go ahead and mix it all together. Try to mix it all together real good. This used to be my favorite thing when my grandma baked. Mix the coconut and the sugar. And the spices, oh my goodness. We all wanted some of that. So sometimes she'd grate the coconut and she'd just put a little bit to the side and then she'd mix it for us. So, so good. Yeah, so this is ready now. That's my spread for my cocoa cinnamon rolls. I will butter the dough, sugar the dough, and then I'll spread this across it liberally. Perfection. For me, it is. Some folks would say it's not sweet enough, but you don't want it too sweet because your dough is going to have some sugar. I'm just setting this aside. And now I will do my pull and tuck. Second round. And you'll see, Kirby, the dough is coming to come. See that? My dough is coming up really nice. And what is it now? An hour and a bit? That's a very active starter I had today. And I learned that my window was wrong that first time around. Following everybody and what they said, just wetting my hand in the water. Sorry for that little rattle of the camera. Sorry, guys. I wet both hands. I don't want to get both hands in there. Look at that. That is awesome. I was so proud of myself. And that I learned is the advantage of having a very moist dough. Rather than that tight dough. Look at that. I'm tucking it all the way over. That's number 2. Because I said to get it so that it can stretch without tearing. That's number 3. And now for the last one. Yeah. But it hasn't really gone to where it can go yet. So I have 2 more to go on this. Wet my hands again, just tucking it in. 2 more folds left, and then I'll let it sit for 2-hour span because I am shortening the window. And then I am going to split it into 2. I'm going to make 1 in Dutch and 1 in loaf tins. So yeah, that's all there is to doing this. I was so scared the very first time I did it, but now I'm like a pro at this. I'm not really a pro. I'm just having fun. Alexa, set a half-an-hour proof timer. Sorry for disturbing your Alexa, Kirby. And just like that, 2 pull and tuck are done. And look, it's starting to get jiggly and it's just like an hour and 20 minutes in. So that's the advantage of having a super active dough. And now I'm going to share what I do to prep my my fillings. So I'm going to do some blueberry and I'm doing some coconut. So the coconut is ready. Now I show you what I do to get my blueberry. It's just a matter of getting some sugar, not too much. Trying to get a small saucepan. Oh, baby, you're using the saucepan. Okay, I'll use something else. What can I use? What can I use? It's okay, I'll use this one, babes. You're good. I'll use this. But for this one, I'm going to need lemon. So I just got a pot. And to this pot, I'm going to go ahead and add some blueberries. Yeah. That's roughly a cup and a half. I want to leave a smidge for hubby in case he's doing something. Literally, look, Kirby. I used it all. That's all that's left. But yeah, that's good. A berry or two stuck in the crevice. Yeah. Resealable bag. You just top just a little bit of vanilla. I don't put too much. I'm pulling back out my sugar bucket. Get it open. See some sugar lumps in here, guys. I think I should use up the sugar lumps. What say you? Sugar lumps, add it. I don't know why that is, but brown sugar always have these lumps. I'm gonna add that. That's more than I normally do, but I'm gonna add it in because that's about a half a cup. Yeah, that's more closer to 3/4 cups, guys. So I've got my sugar, I've got my vanilla, I've got my berries. Now I need some butter. Well, I think I'll wait. I won't put butter this time. The last time I didn't put butter. Or did I? I'm not remembering at this exact moment. Baby, can you fill back the water? You know, I always have water in the kettle. So, the rules that I have in the kitchen, once you come into the kitchen, you gotta have hot water. And you gotta have clean towels. So, I'm gonna use 1 lemon, guys, just one. And I am so glad that I get to share this journey with you today, Kirby. Child, you make my day. Okay. So, a lot of people don't know this. I'm loving your heart, sweetie. One of my blueberries tried to escape. I toss it back in. Okay, here we go. I'm moving things around. Should probably put back the turntable. I put it up here because it was easier to maneuver with it right by me rather than be reaching back and back and back. Okay, so tell me if you know this one, Kirby. Literally. So this is my lemon. And I want it to get really juicy. It's sliding on that, so I'll use a paper towel to grip it. And you just press and press and press and press. Have you ever done that with lemons? Because what it does, if you notice, my lemon is much easier to maneuver now. See, it's pressing in. Before it was just a bulk, a big bulge. Now I'm going to zest some of my lemon. Not a lot, but enough that you can see that I've got some zest from it. Now that I've gotten zest, I now need the juice from the lemon. I'm not going to use the butter on this because when I do my topping, I'm going to use butter there. I'm always trying to see how I can prevent myself from putting too much of anything that can contribute to any of the chronic lifestyle diseases. Sugar, you know, diabetes, butter, that goes towards cholesterol. So I try to avoid that. None of this is well manipulated by my hand. I'm just going to slice the lemon and I'm going to juice it. But I got to grab the strainer and the citrus juicer. Well, the handheld one. Can I get a sift, sweetie? This tiny one? Alrighty. I've got it. I gave him my ear kiss, a Kirby, and he just like did a whole Caribbean black man shrug. Like, okay, whatever. That can't help me right now. I'm defending food. So, want to make sure you're seeing what I'm doing. I'm just going to gently juice this in here. And that's all I'm doing. Once this gets heated, did I set like a proof timer? I think I did. Alexa, how much time left on my timer? Yes, I do. Okay, yes, I did. I did. So this is all I'm doing to juice. And get as much of this juice out as I possibly can. But that's going all wonky. Let me see if I can cut this down, because I can still see a lot of juices there. And cut it down some more. Let's try. Can I get the extra juice out? Or is it my imagination? Let's see. Yeah, there was some juice there. Not a whole lot. But when you're doing something like this, you want all the juice you can get. I'm just going to turn it. So the rolling of the lemon, not just loosen it or make it easier to juice, but the natural oils that are trapped in the lemon skin, it comes out in the zest. So that's what gives it that really lemony flavor. So that first half is done. Hey, baby girl. Taking out the garbage now? Good job. I think you can leave the phone. Your phone, you don't need it to go up to the shoot. Guys, thank you so much for all the love that you're showing me today. Your girl, Chef Twellyah, appreciates it. I'm going to cut down this one. Okay, hon. Going to cut this down some more. So this knife set that I got from Amazon was cheap. And it's really come in handy. When you are a small family, and sometimes you're doing your stream, you discover that your family members move certain things around and you can't find them. So that was the reason I made that small investment. I'm happy I did, because the knives are sharp. I'm pressing it on both sides to get all the juice that's in it. And the reason why I use the sieve is to make sure that the seeds don't go into my filling. And so far, I've caught a few of them. Last piece of lemon now. And just like that. I think I'm going to do crispy tofu for dinner. I got inspired to try it again. Saw a video and I'm like, I haven't done it in a while. It was either do a tofu stew, crispy tofu, or a lentil stew. But hubby's doing lentil soup right now, so because of that, I don't see a need to be doing this stew again. So I might do the tofu. And crispy tofu is good. See, I got a few extra seeds. So just like that, this is all I need to do my topping. When the heat gets it, it would cause everything to bubble. And when it gets to a good texture, I'll take it off and set it aside, let it cool. Hey babes, can I get a burner to use? I'm going to show you guys how I go about making this. Just moving things on the stove real quick. And I can show you. That soup is going to look good. Look like it's going to taste good, babes. So I know I've been talking a while and you haven't seen me. So hi, this is your girl, Chef Twellyah. This is the voice, or the face behind the voice. So you guys have been wondering who is talking and sharing these interesting stuff. It is I, me, myself, and I. So yeah, I now have the camera set up so that I can show you guys. I'm just gonna flip back around.
I smell lemon.
Yeah, so you can check the time for the cake.
Cake. That's why I smell it.
No.
The pizza.
Did you put something in there? No, you didn't. So, Kirby, yeah, the cake is coming on nicely. Look at that, girl. And that's halfway there. So I'm giving it the time to bake. There's like 15 minutes left on it. I'm putting the heat medium. And as you saw, it was just, sorry guys, I didn't realize the camera had moved. There we go. It was just one lemon along with the sugar and the berries. And I'm just stirring it together. And then the heat is gonna hit it. Oops. There we go. Now you can see as the heat gets to it, I'm gonna go medium high now. I'll do like a 7 on my stove. As the heat gets more intense, it will start to bubble. And if you guys are curious, because I think my battery life on this device is almost out right now. So if I'm not saying it's going to, I want to finish this so you guys can see. If it does, I'll try to hop on back with another device. So that way you guys can see me finish up the roll. The dough, I'm going to just do a couple more tucks on it and set it aside and refrigerate. The sandwich bread, though, I'll try to put it to bake at about 7, maybe 8 o'clock. I'll pop it in to bake. And while I'm doing this, I'll be rigging up some soup, some lentil soup. I know that's going to be yummy. So that's why you're hearing a pot be bubbling. That's hubby's Lenten soup. So we're all cooks in our own rights in this household. Back to my berry sauce. So yeah, this won't take long. If I had started it on high, it would be pretty much done already. But I didn't want it to burn, so I just gradually, you can see some bubbles forming in it. And that's fine. It's because the heat has penetrated the pot. So I put it up to the full high now. This makes a really delicious sauce. But because the blueberry is really tart, the last batch I did, it was so tart. I thought it was like almost sour. But folks love the berry. Nonetheless, they ate it up. Community ate it up. So I want to give them back something that they like. I'll check on my dough for these to see if it has poofed any. But I discovered last week it takes a while. So I'll have to probably, if it's not where I want it to be, when the timer goes off, I will go ahead and just give it some extra time. See, nothing much going on down this lane right now. So it's just a watch and wait, pretty much. But I've discovered this. When you're paying attention to a pot, it takes forever. Walk away for 30 seconds and everything goes wrong. But I really just want to pause to say thank you to everyone who jumped on the live with me today. I really appreciate you. The hearts, this laughter, the that delicious emoji, it all helps me to continue to do what I do because I know you appreciate it. So thank you guys so much. You notice that there's action started in that pot now. I decided I'm not going to be too patient with it. I'm right here and it's not moving. So I put it up to high and see it's starting to sizzle. So the reason I'm stirring it, I don't want any place to get stuck and burn. Because I find when you do these stovetop sauces, it can go bad like super quick. And you may have noticed that I use brown sugar. It's just because brown sugar is closer to the original state than the granulated sugar. I know there's a big argument as to which is better and how it affects the taste. But I'm willing to work with brown sugar. So almost for everything I do, I use brown sugar. You're so right. Watch pot. No boil at all. Not at all. For you guys who are not Jamaican or from the Caribbean, it means that once you're paying attention to something, there will be no change. The moment you look away, hell broke loose. Which means anything that can go wrong, or anything that's going to cause a change, it takes place. So yeah, this is all there is to do in the berry sauce. Whether it's blueberry, raspberry, whatever your berry be, that's all you're doing. The lemon is what helps to extract the essence from your berries. And to keep it from separate, sometimes you see berries or a sauce and it's like there's a separation happening. The lemon juice, I prefer that. Girl, some pancakes, that would be good about now. Yeah, unfortunately, they no longer do these in the restaurants. Well, I guess maybe the high-end restaurants do it. But when I was a kid, you'd walk in and you'd get your fresh berry sauce. So when you get your pies and stuff, most people, they don't do this. They just go ahead and mix everything together and put it in the pie, because this will happen while it's baking. Some folks want to make sure that it does happen, so they'll do some fresh berries as well as they do this and pour it on top of the berries. And just like that, you see how that's it. I don't need to do anything more. And look, it seemed like I wouldn't get much sauce from it. But you see how the lemon has caused all the juice to come out? That's it. Now I turn off my stove and I allow this to cool down. I remove it from the element. Yeah. Just like that, my berry sauce is ready. So typically I'll pour this in a little bowl and allow it to cool. So as you can see, I've made both my sauces, my blueberry. Look, they got a cranberry in this. That's definitely a cranberry. I wonder where it's going to end up in my roll. Yeah, I found that when I did this the first time, I'm just going to go fetch a bowl to pour that in. The blueberry was very tangy and the strawberry was super sweet. I think I see a bowl I can use, guys. Yep. This one. I should be able to hold it all. So, yeah, I'm just going to put this right here. And I'm going to bring the pot around to it and just pour it in and set it to the side and let it go ahead and cool down. But yeah, just like that, I'm done with everything that I need. I rest that here because I'm going to need the butter to do my dough. And I'm putting away the other stuff while I move the pot to do that pour. Yep. And my vegan yogurt goes in the fridge. So now for the sauce. The good thing about making things fresh is that you don't have to worry that there's some additives in it. This is just you preparing something the natural way. That's what I should say, the natural way. And if you don't use it all, just slap a label on it and toss it in the freezer. Put it in a glass container. That way it will preserve very good. So one of my friends in community says, oh, you gotta make this. They're so good. Gotta make it again next week. So that's the reason why I'm making it. But then my daughter and her friends, they love the coconut. Which one of those timers is that? So just like that. Oh, that's my can you take these to the kitchen for me, please? All of these. You're about to do what, darling?
I was gonna get myself some food.
Yeah, just put it in the sink that has the pot with the running water now. Thank you. So that timer, guys, is for the cinnamon roll dough. Thank you, baby girl. I'm always giving her something to do every time she comes by me. She's never happy about that. But I remember when my grandma, my mom, my aunt, they all used to do that for me. So it's one of the rites of passage of being a teen or a kid in the household. The adults ask you to do stuff over and over again. So I'm not seeing much action with it, Kirby. Oh, my cake timer. It's over in the corner, sweetie. Alexa, cancel. My cake timer is up, Kirby. We're gonna do a test. Yeah, that's Kirby. She wanted to pour it over some pancakes. It makes me feel like I should be making pancakes when I do that sauce. So we can see here, it's clearly not much action, right? It's coming because I'm seeing some spring back, but not much action. So I'm either have to go and get it to a warmer spot or give it another 45 minutes or half an hour or so, and I'll check back on it. So that's not ready just yet. So I'm gonna put. Can I put this in the oven? Yeah, you can put it to the top. I'll leave that here. Move that away from the light. So my sauce, I'm gonna put a piece of paper towel over it.
Oh, you got book vanilla. Well, I got book vanilla. And I got Nutella in high school.
Okay.
They were making the croissant cake in French. And Miss bought them and like just for this purpose, and they thought they were gonna use up all of them. They did it.
Oh, so they gave you guys, okay. So
That's not even my class.
Wow, you cleaned up today. So guys, my toppings are ready. My dough is lagging behind.
Wait, is that for cinnamon rolls?
Yes, I know you want to do that, but is it vegan? I don't think it is. So she's got this, Kirby, and she wants to put it on the cinnamon rolls, but we can do some for her.
Yeah. Sugar,
all right.
Water.
So I'm making the move to get my tester. There we go. Look at my testers, Kirby. Cookie, glasses, and heart. Maybe I'm oversharing, but yeah, we're gonna move to child. Be safe. I don't like that. Open, please, open. Oh, close his back, Kirby. I know, right? So I think she's making garlic bread or something.
I didn't make it at school. I'm just warming it up.
Exactly. That's what I thought when I saw it.
So not you taking it down all the way just to.
So now we do that test. My layman eyes says to me, Kirby, that the center. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit for you. The center. Can I get this to go in? There we go. My layman eye said the center might need a little bit more time, but the bake on it is perfect. Let's see. It's clean, pretty much. It's a little teensy bits. Look at the center. Is that coming back clean as well? Yeah, it's a good cake. So I do this old school. I know they like to do with thermometers and stuff these days, but I do old school. And this, my camera will stabilize to show you, is a clean, or fairly clean. So what will I do with it? I'll put it back in, but now I will go ahead and turn off the heat. It's baked. Hey, babes, you want me to add the water to this? This pot is getting low on water, and its piece is all cooked up. See that? So that's one of the reasons why I always have my kettle boiling, because once you're cooking and you need hot water, you shouldn't be making hot water. It should be ready. Just like that. He's good. All right. So I'm gonna keep my duchy to the side. This is what I baked my my last. My sourdough was baked in that pot, and it came out awesome. Alexa, which timer is running now?
Your 30-minute proof timer has finished and is waiting.
Oh, so looks like you're gonna get to see me do another pull and tuck on here now, because it's telling me my proof timer is done. Alexa, cancel. I'm so looking forward to having this, Kirby. My girlfriend came back from Jamaica yesterday and she brought me mango. Look at this. Do you know this mango? You know what it's called? It smells good. All right, so I'm going to flip this around. I'm going to get some water. And I'm going to do my third pull and tuck. This is coming up nice. That's coming up really nice. I love how it's looking. So let me get some water to wet my hands. The time has gone so quickly. So what I discovered was the first time I did the I just did not. So I'm putting my hand in the water. Pull this over so you guys can see better. Hands in the water. And now I'm gonna, ooh, this is so soft. Oh, this is so soft. Yep. So I'm tucking it all in. Go to this side now. I'm tucking it over. And then side number 3, starting to stick there. So there we go. Can I get it to come up how I want it? Yep. Imagine if I'd put my flaxseed in here. Oh. Alexa, which timer is that? Alexa, what's going off? I'm hearing a ring. Dan, did you set a timer on Google? There's a timer and I don't know what's that for. I'm doing one more, Kirby. Just because I want to tuck it all under. Hey, baby girl, did you set a timer for something? I don't remember setting another timer. It's poofing, guys. It didn't happen like this last time. So this, but then again, this dough is way more active than the one I had before. And that was something I learned watching more videos. They say that the shorter the window from feeding the starter, the more active your dough will be. So Alexa, set a 30-minute proof timer. I set it at 11. Was it 11? Yeah, around 11:30, somewhere there. And I started using this after 4. So it was right within that 4 to 6 hour window rather than 6 to 12 hour. So it adds more activity. So I'm excited about that. Stop. I don't know what that timer is for though. Okay, that cake needs to come out, otherwise it will burn. Let's take it out. Do, 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 do. Yep, that cake. It got that extra minute or two. So while I am waiting, and I literally am waiting now, I'm gonna, I don't want to use the plastic to wrap the hot sauce, but I need it to be covered somewhere. So what I'll do, and I still have my leftover, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stack it on top of it. For those of you who are wondering, that's my crumble. That was what I used on my, no, that doesn't make sense. What I'm thinking, I'm looking at the way that I can, oh, my rack. It will elevate it, which is what I want. Awesome. That way it's not on the table directly, so the heat is not being trapped. And now I can just put a piece of parchment over the top while it cools down. I'm still waiting on this. So as soon as I'm waiting on this, I'm gonna put it on the stove top. Hopefully that extra heat will help to push it out. And then I can also put my crumble cake. So it will get some breeze under and it will cool down faster. I think that's good use of space. Now, trying to think of a way to keep this until I'm ready for it. And I think the measuring cup is the perfect space for it. So I clearly made way too much crumble, but it's okay. Because I'll use up some when I do the berry cinnamon rolls. So if you watch this stream I did last week, Friday I think it was. Yeah, I think I did it last Friday. You should see a thumbnail of me with berries, like cinnamon rolls. That's what it will, I think it is. I did it from start to finish, I believe. So you can see it on that. Just gonna wrap this with some plastic and keep it out of the way. My house smells so good right now, guys. I can't begin to tell you. This crumble is 100% for community, so I might cut it to do a reveal, but it's going to community, so they will get a chance to cool. And I am gonna get a, seeing as how hubby's making soup, I just thought about it. Why not make some garlic bread to accompany the soup? Yeah, that's an East Indian mango, Kirby. Yeah, this doing the toothpick, I think that's still the best method. Okay, you can see the ears that are flat. And so you know that because it's flat, the likelihood is that the cake needs to be baked a little bit more in those areas. So you don't disturb it, you allow it to bake out. Right? So I'm gonna have some fun with this. This is my very own homemade sourdough bread. And I usually do some gift packages. And I remember I had this plastic stuff. It was well cooled. Like 6 hours in, I dunked it in. So this top is not overly hard. But there you go. And you know why it went like this? I'm going to be completely transparent. I was supposed to let it bake for 25 minutes with the lid on. I left it like 35 minutes. And so, yeah, so we have literally been butchering this bread. So I'm trying to get a clean cut on it so that I can do a couple slices for my garlic bread in the oven. This is so good. It's great with cheese or any of those nice things. Well, yeah, just like I did, it has that perfect sourdough tang. Perfection. So I'm just going to do 2 slices. So that one is good. Do one more. They say you should store your sourdough in a brown paper bag, but I don't have brown paper bag. So yeah, I think my device is dying down, Kirby. It's been fantastic. Everybody that jumped in the stream, into the party room today, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going to create something to complement what hubby's making in the kitchen. Of course, I can't help but nibble here. This is so, so good. Stick it back here. It's a Friday. Enjoy the weekend. If the weather's nice in your ear, go ahead and get out there. Enjoy some of it. So I'm just going to make garlic key butter, herb garlic butter. Spread it on this and toast this in the oven. That's all I'm going to do it. I'm going to make a couple of slices with it. And that's how I make up my own garlic bread from scratch. Thank you, thank you. Your ham and cheese on sourdough bread. Ooh. I like cold cut with it because yesterday I had a lot of cheese with it. Just cold cut.
Wait, something.
So what's there?
The bowl is there.
Put it on top of the bowl. Rest it on top.
Thing on top of it.
We're having a little mini panic. Come. Here you go. I'll help you. There you go. You're good. So yeah, guys. Thank you, everyone in the chat. All of you who subscribe and decide to stay here with me and help me grow my channel. I appreciate you, love you. And wherever you are in the world, try something new today or this weekend, you know?
Yeah, when do you think it's going to be done? When do you think it's going to be done? Sure.
I'm always encouraging folks to, make healthy choices. Live your life in such a way by making the right choices. Give him 20 minutes. It will be ready in 20 minutes, girl. Yeah, your dad doesn't like to be specific like that. 20 minutes. Pardon me, sweetie.
She wanted an estimate as to when dinner would be done.
That's why I wondered the God said to those.
Ooh, I just messed up my hand. Yeah, guys. So to do my garlic spread, I'm just getting the butter,